All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect, the brother Yeshaya. And this video is gonna be about the upcoming technocracy and how China's social credit system has a lot to do with it by it being the archetype, by being the prototype, whatever. I don't know if I used it right. Archetype, prototype, pro, arc. Uh, either way, man. Lord willing, this video be edifying. But first, start by defining the word technocracy. The word technocracy is a system of government where decisions are made by technical experts, such as scientists, engineers, and economists, rather than elected politicians. It prioritizes data driven, efficient, and objective solutions over popular opinion or political ideology. Key principles include scientific management of resources and expert leadership, often criticized for lacking democratic accountability. All right. So there you go, democratic and using, those two sides against you, man. Key principles and characteristics, expert rule. Power is vested in specialists chosen by their expertise in areas like economics, technology. That's why the woman just went through this. They have recently hired 13 technocrats to be in high level, seats of government, which is a very dangerous thing because the government has been ran poorly, but it's been ran by certain government officials that know what they're doing. Now you putting a technocrat in there, someone that's good with technical analysis and can't even say uh, you know technical analysis. Um and it's just not going to work. But the reason why they're doing it is because they're setting it up for the MOTB system, and that is going to be the rule. That's going to be, basically the God. All right, they want to set this MOTB up as a idol. Okay, just as when you go into the golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar, I can't talk today, Nebuchadnezzar erected. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want, and it's going to be inside you, man. All right. Long term planning. Technocracies often focus on long term sustainability rather than short term political cycles. Early movements, e.g., in the 1930s, sought to manage the economy through energy accounting rather than money. So they've been starting this for a while. Now, how I'm gonna tie this in? Okay, potential benefits. There is no potential benefits to a tech, technocracy, technocracy, right? The only reason they want that in place is to rule your ass and make sure them chips is functioning and and going around the clock. All right, but we already know this plan is poorly set out. All right, you got radiation, which is going to be the cause of when the scriptures say it was a noisome and grievous sore. Let me go ahead and get that. Uh, I know it's in Revelation. Yeah. All right, this is the book of Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worship his name. So there you go. All right, you gonna have a cancerous sore on you for taking that mark, and the Lord is bad. He's giving the term is insult to injury. Yeah, adding insult to injury. Praise ye Yahweh about Shem Yahushua. So this is how China's social credit system links into that, because it is basically the introduction, okay, to this technocracy. All right, and it's basically a trial run over there in um, China that was set up by Britain. All right, and I'm gonna read about that a little later. But here's what the Chinese social credit system is. It's a fragmented, multi layered initiative designed to regulate the trustworthiness of individuals and corporations through blacklists, rewards, and punishments. Right? It integrates data from financial records, legal compliance, and social behavior to enforce state defined moral and legal standards rather than acting as a single unified national score. So basically, you're going to be judged, and your the way you move around society is going to be based off what, how your ass how you adhere to the rules. Okay. And the men of the Lord, and we're gonna be all the way out of there. All right. I mean, the Lord may have it to where some of us might get around the system, but shit, for the most part, brothers and you few sisters that's watching don't have the an actual, a good standing, so to say, in this society, and that's all good because we want to get up out of here. The scriptures say what? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It will destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. Arise ye and depart. It is not your rest. It is polluted. I know it. It is polluted. Sword polluted. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. For it will destroy you. Let me get it. I tried to recite it off the top of the head, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that, man. Brothers dealing with brain fog and all type of shit. Um, Amos 2 and Micah 2 and 10. See? That brain fog. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. So there you go. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. So there you go. All right, going back. So basically, this fragmented, multi-layered initiative designed to regulate the trustworthiness of individuals and corporations through blacklists, rewards, and punishments. So basically, I wouldn't say capital punishment, but basically, if you get down with the program, and you will be rewarded. If you revolt, if you buck up, all right, if you don't obey, then you will be the offscouring of society. All right, I mean, it's plainly put. Okay. Now this affects us so much, man. All right, that you don't even know. But here's a little video on the Chinese credit system. It's just 1 minute, so
Million surveillance cameras, one for every 2 citizens, able to track people's movements down to the minute.
Every street corner, there's facial recognition, there's digital recognition, there's the social credit system. The social credit system is the sort of highest aspiration of the Chinese Communist Party, to have everything every human being does go into a computer system. And with AI and all sorts of other sophisticated programming, you can know exactly where a person is because he'll have bought something with a credit card or a digital payment system. His car will have gone down a highway. Every kilometer, there's a camera taking pictures of your license plate. They will know everything about everybody real time. This creates a kind of a techno-autocratic system that's unprecedented and with which we've had no experience.
there you go. All right. I wish they have no experience, and that shit's gonna bite them in the ass, man. Okay, and we're already in there in that right now. Okay, over here in America, they have certain camera systems, not as complex as the Chinese, but you can go to Virginia, Langley, DC and all that. Their camera systems are pretty far out. All right, my Eve got a ticket when we were coming back from Virginia when we went up there, and they mailed her the ticket. All right, so this is already in place, but China just has a more classified version of it, or a more a more I can't find the word right now, but a more complex, yeah, a more complex version of it. All right, but it's coming here, and you don't think that America is watching this framework, all right? But this is how Britain held on to Hong Kong's economic elite. Despite handling the colony back in China in 1997, Hong Kong remains a key hub in Britain's offshore financial empire. When the Liberal Democrat MP Werba Hobmos was denied entry to Hong Kong in April, British journalists dusted off their usual line on the territory. Hong Kong used to be British, which means free, democratic, and good. The trope goes. Now it's becoming ever more Chinese, which means more authoritarian, unfree, and bad. The second half is reasonable. Chinese state capitalism is authoritarian, but the first half should be challenged. Hong Kong wasn't democratic when it was under British rule. It remains remarkably British, and that's not necessarily good. I'm not talking about the British into idiosyncrasies, which widely discussed in travelers' videos. Hong Kongers have red double-decker buses, drive on the left, play cricket, rugby, and bowls, and have streets named after British aristocrats. So there is a heavy presence that's still in the capital of China, which is Hong Kong. Okay, and what do you think that they're doing? Okay, they set up that system as a test run. Okay, for the whole world. All right, and you know who operates out of Great Britain? Okay, the Rothschilds, the high level elitists. You know they operate out of that land, which is known in the Bible as the bottomless pit. Okay, and how you know that it's about that pit is talking about a landmass. It says that the Lord has made many pits, but He has one that's special, and that one that is special is the homeland. Okay, the Levant, aka the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, basically our homeland. All right, the Promised Land. All right, now they're using biometrics. Okay, and these it's just been set up from the beginning, man. Okay, and you got to give it to these devils. They're pretty good, but they will not get the elect. All right. Biometrics are updated methods of verifying identity based on unique physical or behavioral characteristics such as fingerprints, facial patterns, and voice prints. And they've been setting you up the whole time with this shit by how? Uh, your iPhone, technology, pretty much. All right. And a lot of people use, facial recognition. I still do the regular password, John. Like I try to stay away from as much as possible. I know they're already watching us, they're reading us. I'm doing this lesson right now and probably being watched from the camera. I don't care. Okay, the Lord protects us. So yeah, they've been setting this up, man, the whole time. They are used for access control and identification, such as unlocking a phone or verificating your identity at an airport, which airports is fucked up right now, and are considered more secure than passwords because they are difficult to lose, share, or steal. And that's the mystique of it. That's the selling point of this thing right here. They want you to feel more comfortable in the keeping of your valuable information, such as your grapho, your driver's license, your social security, your this and your that. Okay. And they're going to use the veil of, oh, thieves can just come in and take it, or you can lose it. And then you shut out of luck. But no, if you have it inside you already, that's their whole thing. Okay. That's their end game, right? They want to put it inside you. So, Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is the power. Rather, remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things, and you know that withheld it that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then, okay, that mystery of iniquity was talking about the Roman Empire. And in other cases, it's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes as well. And then shall that wicked be revealed, all right, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that's what the Lord is doing right there, all right, in all three aspects. He's being revealed, okay, the wicked has been revealed, all right, the internet is out, okay, all of these things, all of these evil things that that's people been doing since the beginning of time is now coming out and all available, all right. The internet was made to push this truth. They wish they never made the internet. If they never made the internet, they probably would have been rolled on us right now with their whole agenda. It'll probably already been completed. But The Lord did this for a reason. And even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. And when you go into that, he really, this man, this the so-called white man, he really on the left-hand side taps into these different energies, the different sorceries and magic. You got Looking Glass, Operation Looking Glass or whatnot. You got all this technology that this devil has been doing, man, since the beginning of time. Well, since he got it was a cycle. It was a cycle. All right, he was in the garden, okay, and it says serpent, but when it goes into serpent, let's see, I think that word is napash, which is like a sorcerer. I mean, this is not new information. Elder Wamba always brings it out, so I ain't saying I'm the I've discovered this. All right, so yeah, Nakash, serpent, snake, image, and when you go down to it, it goes into there it is. Nakash, to practice divination, divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take on as an omen, to practice divination, to observe the signs or omens. So he was a sorcerer, okay, and he came back as Cain, all right, had Tubal Cain and his other descendants, go on and go forward to the Tower of Babel, okay, after the flood or whatnot. And that was uh yeah, I mean the Tower of Babel, and that was his descendants. And then, they were put down for a little bit. They was put down for a time, all right, for 1,000 years, okay, in the caves, getting chased, you know, chased off, and getting ridiculed because they was a base man. All right, the Lord cleaned them up, got them out of them caves after the Renaissance period. All right, and he got all that shit back from the Hamites, okay, because they was dealing, in Babylon, okay, in Samaria, all right, Assyria. They got all that back from Egyptians. They got it all back. Okay, so it came back full circle, right? Even him whose work coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. There we go. All right. So this is what the Lord's going to do for him. So don't fret, okay? Because hey, this man, he's going to get a lot of people. But if you're a part of the elect, he can't get you. All right. It says, the fool the elect if it was possible. He would have fooled the very elect if it was possible. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. So the Lord's gonna basically put a monkey wrench in this man in this heathen's plans. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So you're gonna fall into your own trap. Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wet who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of lion snares privily. They say who can see them, and that's what they do. Okay, they lay snares privily and they say who can see them. All right, but the Lord sees you and we see you. Okay, so there you go. Uh King James Version, Job 20, and I think it's around 20. I'm sorry, 19. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away in the house which he buildeth not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he have desired. There shall be none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his good. So all of his treasures, all of his things that he's acquired out of wickedness and witchcraft and sorcery and debauchery and grape and rob and murder. Hey, it's a wrap. Like he shall flee from the iron with Slakia. Yeah. Um Surely there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So in the fullness of his sufficiency, when he thinks that he's about to exit those caves, like the the ashes, the phoenix that rose from the ash. That's something they like to use a lot, okay, to represent them, basically coming out of the destruction victorious. But they've been looking into the future. They've been seeing Operation Looking Glass or Project Looking Glass, whatever it's called, okay, which I'm very interested in. I used to read about it a lot, um, read back into it or watch a Elder Yashawan's video. Um, but yeah, they know that the Lord is gonna destroy them. That's why it says that they have but a short time. He knoweth that he have but a short time. All right. How does he know that he have but a short time? The Lord is um, showing him things through those necromancers. I mean, not necromancers. Those sorcerers, those diviners, those. Did I already read it? Let's see. Ashley, no. Let me get it. It's bear with me. Thou, I think that's it. Isaiah 47. Thou art weary in thy multitudes. Yep. This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 47. All right. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 13. Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So this man has been laboring in witchcraft and sorcery for ages, okay, for eons, right? Ever since the garden, like I told you before. All right, him being that Nakash, that serpent. All right. It says, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Mm. And this is what they see when they see Project Looking Glass. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. All right. All of your friends, those with whom you've done business since childhood, will go their own ways, turning a deaf ear to your cries. So that's the fruition of the prophecy coming to pass of they shall hate the horror and hiss and wag their head, because they won't be able to make be able to make merchandise with this horror no more, because it's going to be destroyed. All right. Now I'm gonna end it with I think I got two more. No, read that one. Read that one. Yep, Revelation 13, verse 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they shall make a image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many was not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this all goes into Shazah stigma, like apostles. bishops and elders and brothers on down have been, preaching about for years, man. Okay, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for is the number of a man, and his number is 600 score and six, and that would be stigma. All right, it's the last one, and I already brought that up. Yeah. All right, so yeah, Lord willing, that was edifying. Actually, I'm gonna read it. Revelation 16 and 2. This should be more motivation to not take that thing. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the river and fountains of waters, and they became blood. So, hey man, the missiles, you know, start going, start flying. It's a wrap. So get right now with your power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, if you're an Israelite. All right. We're almost home, man. Not time to play around. So want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, safety to the Lord's elect. Shalom.